Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Opposition MPs in St. Kitts and Nevis stage a walkout of Parliament. Our top story for Caribbean Newsline for Friday, January 20. From the CMC News Centre in Bridgetown, I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. A ruling by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Michael Perkins, that he was not allowing debate on a no-confidence motion against him triggered the walkout led by opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas on Friday. The motion was filed in December by the opposition St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, the SKNLP, which questioned the Speaker's impartiality. The party says it believes Perkins specifically targets members of Parliament who sit on the opposition benches. In an interview with CMC News, Douglas said the MPs made an exit from the House when the Speaker refused to recuse himself and allow the motion to be debated. He said it was unfair and unjust and endangered parliamentary democracy.
But what is glaringly a serious threat to democracy here, and especially the conduct of the Parliament, is that the Speaker himself was not only trying to respond to the contents of the motion against him, but he was hearing it himself. We would have thought that the decent thing to do was to allow the Deputy Speaker to hear the matter, but instead he became the judge, the jury, and executioner. And we believe that this is a very serious departure from what is the norms in our democratic practices here in the country and in the Parliament of our country generally.
But the former Prime Minister maintains that the matter is not over and he vows to bring the motion back to Parliament as soon as possible.
The opposition will bring this matter back to the Parliament because today's behavior of the Speaker makes it even more imperative that the motion be brought against the Speaker in the future. The rules of the House say that it cannot be brought within 6 months, but immediately after 6 months, it will be brought back.
Meanwhile, the opposition in Antigua and Barbuda staged protest action outside the country's parliament on Friday. Led by opposition leader Baldwin Spencer and MP Wilmoth Daniel, protesters gathered outside the gates of Parliament as the 2017 estimates of revenue and expenditure were being presented. At least 50 opposition supporters joined the legislators as they picketed to express their dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the economy. But one opposition member, All Saints East and St. Luke representative Joanne Messiah, defied the boycott plans of the United Progressive Party by attending the budget presentation. Messiah, who received a standing ovation when she entered Parliament, has been at odds with the party after a failed bid for the UPP leadership.
I saw no need to boycott the Parliament. I wanted to be here to hear firsthand, front and center, what the government's plans and projections are for the upcoming budget year. And so I am here. I also want to remind you and the public that the UPP has suspended me from all of its activities. And to the extent that their boycott is an activity, then I would assume that I'm suspended from that as well. Plus, nobody has had any discussion with me. I'm sure when you would have heard the letter read by the Speaker, it was sent on behalf of the other two elected members on the opposition benches. So that should speak for
Meanwhile, Speaker of the House Sir Gerald Watt chided the other opposition members for their boycott, calling it an attack on the Parliament. He says MPs should only be absent from Parliament sittings for the purpose of official public business. And while the opposition remained outside, Prime Minister Gaston Brown rolled out a $1.2 billion budget package. And he says his government is projecting a $165 million current account surplus for this fiscal year. Brown said that's based on several factors, including further improvement in economic growth, strengthened revenue administration, and enhanced tax collection. The government also expects to yield revenue from the tax on income of all international banks and the gambling tax, which are both set to be implemented this year. Taxes will account for about 79% of the revenue, while non-tax revenue will make up the rest, and a large chunk of that will be receipts from the controversial Citizenship by Investment program. Prime Minister Brown also boasted of a 4.3% rate of growth for 2016, telling Parliament that the country's economy grew at the greatest rate of all of the Caribbean countries. In fact, he said the growth outpaced the vast majority of countries in the world. In Trinidad and Tobago now, a 7% online purchase tax implemented by government last year is being challenged in the court. A group of courier companies has deemed the tax illegal and unfair and is asking the court to strike it down. We get more from Kamal Georges of CNC3 News.
6 companies are mounting a legal challenge to the implementation of the 7% online tax. The application for leave to apply for judicial review was filed in the High Court on Wednesday, challenging the decision of the Finance Minister and the government. According to the court documents, the claimants are asking the court to quash the imposition of the new online tax provisions. In the interim, they are seeking an order to stop the imposition and implementation of the tax until the court makes a determination on the matter. 6 of the largest courier companies are named in the application, including WebSource, Aeropost, and CSF. One of their main concerns is that the finance minister acted illegally by failing to adequately consult with them before the new tax was imposed. In fact, they're asking the court to declare that it was irrational, wholly unreasonable, disproportionate, and an irregular and improper exercise of the minister's discretion. The issue of discrimination was also raised by the companies. The 7% online tax does not apply to ocean freight, and according to them, it confers an unfair advantage on ocean freight companies, which are their competitors. In the absence of a quashing of the tax, they're asking that it is also applied to goods imported via ocean freight, as they believe it is a violation of the principles of fairness. In one of the affidavits, the owner of eCouriers Limited said he lost routine customers who've chosen to ship items like televisions and advertising boards via ocean freight to evade the 7% online tax. Attorneys Keith Scotland and Gideon McMaster are seeking damages, interests and costs on behalf of their clients.
Staying in the Twin Island Republic, another state-owned company is in the crosshairs of the trade union following news that more than 200 workers are to be sent home. Less than 2 weeks after the oil field workers trade union, the OWTU called off a planned 90-day strike at the Twin Island Republic's oil company Petrotrin. It is warning that it will not accept the announced layoffs at the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission.
A man or woman must go.
OWTU says plans by TNTech to send home 208 employees will be met with strong resistance.
When we did the math, sending home those temporary workers, many of whom have exceeded the limit by which it shall be made permanent, right, would have only cost the Commission 0.3% of their revenue.
Vice President of the OWTU, Peter Briggs, says there are other cost-cutting measures that can and should be taken by the state-owned company.
The Commission has allowed to develop a practice of middlemen, which of course will drive up the prices of the materials and equipment that they have to purchase. We are saying abandoning this practice and reverting to what used to happen before would save millions of dollars every month.
He says government is allowing TNTech to pay for power it cannot use.
The TGU plant, right, there's an onerous power purchase agreement which makes Tiantec pay for power it does not need and cannot use, because the PGU plant was designed mainly to power the aluminium smelter.
Berg says the OWTU will take whatever action is necessary to ensure that workers are not victimized.
And that report from Janelle Bernard of CNC3 News. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, a warning that the obesity problem in the region is worsening. Stay with us.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fetes, Dominica nights, Dominiki do, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life I'll become a golfer.
A stark warning from a top regional health official that the problem of obesity in the Caribbean is getting worse, and he's particularly concerned about the trends among young children and teenagers. Representative of the Pan-American Health Organization to Barbados, Dr. Godfrey Zureb, sounded the alarm on Friday.
If we look at the data from 1975 to the data in 2011, one generation, we have moved from the 1975 data showed a 39% of our children were malnourished, were suffering from undernutrition. To in 2011, 46%, almost half of our teens were overweight or obese. So the situation has drastically moved.
Dr. Zureb says the Caribbean has been one of the success stories in eliminating childhood malnutrition, but is now grappling with the problem of childhood obesity. He pointed out to high consumption of sugar as one of the main contributing factors.
And when we look at the dietary patterns, the 2 main culprits for this increase in overweight and obesity are fat and sugar. If we, from the Barbados Dietary Pattern Study of 2005, the average Barbadian is consuming 4 times the recommended consumption of sugar in the diet. 4 times more than the recommendation.
Barbados' Attorney General Adriel Braffith is calling for more debate on the decriminalization of marijuana. There have been increased calls for the government to consider the move, with proponents hailing the medicinal benefits. Neighboring Jamaica has already amended its laws to allow for research and possession of small amounts of the herb. But addressing a consultation on national drugs plan this week, Braffith warned that Barbados should not jump on any bandwagon.
As a country and as minister responsible for the NCAC, our race is not to respond the most emotive to the loudest of noises. Ours is a responsibility to ensure that whatever decision that we take, we down to the benefit of the majority of the citizens of this country. So if there's a role for medicinal marijuana, then let us examine it, and Mr. Crawford and his team and the Ministry of Health, etc., will make that determination. But we cannot and should not jump, and this is my point continuously, on any bandwagon.
The Barbados government is calling for full and frank discussion on the CSME. Prime Minister Frondell Stewart, who has led responsibility for CSME within the Quasi-CARICOM cabinet, made his position known during recent talks with a delegation from the CARICOM Secretariat. A government statement said that the 2.5-hour meeting was held to update Stewart on the status of the implementation of the CSME as CARICOM heads prepare to meet in Guyana for their 28th Intersessional Summit next month. Stewart said leaders have to look at what has been achieved under the CSME and what can assist or stand in the way of further achievement. Haiti's President-elect Jovenel Moïse has invited former coup leader and Army Henri Namfi to his inauguration next month. Namfi had replaced former President Jean-Claude Duvalier in February 1986 as head of the National Council. He handed over power to Leslie Manigat in 1988, but staged a coup in June that year. Namfi himself was a victim of a coup 3 months later and has since been living in the neighboring Dominican Republic. He has never returned to Haiti. Moïse ended a 3-day visit to the country on Wednesday, and he told reporters he met with Namfi as well as businessman Marc-Antoine Accra and invited them to his February 7 inauguration. Accra is wanted by police on drug-related matters. Moïse defends his meeting with Accra, saying he did not meet him in a prison and he is the president of all Haitians. And ahead in Newsline Sport, the West Indies Test captain says what he thinks can turn the Caribbean side's fortunes around. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life, I'll become a golfer.
West Indies Test captain Jason Holder says one of his main goals is to transform the Caribbean side into a tightly knit unit, as he believes this will be the catalyst for a turnaround in the team's fortunes. The Caribbean side has endured a torrid time in Test and one-day international cricket over the last decade. It is eighth in the Test rankings and 9th in ODI. Holder said with West Indies bringing together players from several nations, the challenge was always to get them playing as a collective. The 25-year-old Holder has led West Indies in 12 of his 20 tests and 28 of his 49 ODIs, but has overseen a tough period for the Caribbean side, which has struggled to find extensive success. Holder, who is preparing to lead Barbados Pride in the regional Super 50 starting next week, said his hope was to create the same level of unity in the West Indies side that existed in regional sides. The Barbados Cricket Association has promised that the historic Kensington Oval will be in tip-top shape for hosting matches in the upcoming West Indies Cricket Board's Regional Super 50 bowling off next week. In a media briefing on Friday, the BCA's chief executive, Noah Lynch, said the governing body worked hard to get the facility ready for that event, which will be played in Barbados from next Tuesday. Along with the Oval, Zone B matches will be staged in Barbados at the 3Ws Oval, at the UE Caval campus just outside of the city, and the Windward Cricket Club in the eastern parish of St. Philip. The Oval, which hosted its first test match in 1930, is the most storied cricket venue in the Caribbean. It hosted the 2007 ICC World Cup final as well as the 2010 ICC T20 final. Last year's losing finalist Barbados Pride, under the captaincy of Jason Holder from the start of this year, will open their campaign against Guyana Jaguars on Tuesday afternoon in a day-night affair at the Oval. The other teams in the group are Jamaica Scorpions Combined Campuses and Colleges Marooners and the International Cricket Council's Americas. Well, over to football now. Former Manchester United star Dwight Yorke and Trinidad and Tobago Football Association head David John Williams have been appointed to committees in football's world governing body FIFA. The 45-year-old Yorke, who played over 70 times for Trinidad and Tobago, will serve on FIFA's Development Committee and will be the only member from the Caribbean. Asian Football Confederation President Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa will chair the committee, which is tasked with analyzing the basic aspects of football training and technical development. John Williams, meanwhile, has been appointed to FIFA Player Status Committee and is expected to serve until 2021. The controversial administrator, who has come under fire recently because of the FA's handling of the men's senior team head coach position, joins the 21-man committee chaired by Raymond Hack, a former chief executive of the South Africa FA. Former Grenada international and Wigan Athletic and Blackburn Rovers star Jason Roberts is the other Caribbean member of that committee. Bermudan-born footballer Naki Wells is denying reports that he is seeking to leave English club Huddersfield. CBM's Mike Sharp has more in this report.
The Huddersfield Daily Examiner reporting that Bermudian Naki Wells says he has no interest in leaving Huddersfield Town this month. There has been no shortage of speculation over the Bermudian international. The 26-year-old insists his sole focus is on the club's bid for promotion to the Premier League. Wells, who has notched 7 times this term, is out of contract the summer after next. Wells said he will be with Huddersfield Town at the end of the season.
Meanwhile, Bermuda under-20 national team is getting ready to take on Canada in an international friendly this weekend. Head coach Kyle Lightbourne says he plans to include members of the senior squad to help strengthen the team.
Under-20 national football coach Kyle Lightbourne will be at the helm during Bermuda's friendly international against Canada on Sunday night. Lightbourne told ZBM Sports about the makeup of the squad and the coaching setup.
Maurice, Andrew, and myself have been working together for over a year now, so it's just a matter of me just really taking over from what the work that Andrew's been doing, and he'll be there to assist in but he just wanted to have this game time, where there's not that much pressure on him. So, and the team, it's going to be a mixed team of some under-20s, and, the senior players will be there, like Regis coming back.
Reggie
Lamb should be back for the match. We got Killian that's come back, Dante Lavrock, William White. So we got a few guys.
Clemens is here?
Yeah, Willie Clemens as well. So we would have, should be a nice mixture. We hope the crowd come out and support.
Yeah.
It's a game that I think was definitely needed because we haven't played in some time. So it's a game that's definitely needed.
Are you able to call off, without saying the starting 11, the locally based players that are here, or the senior or Premier League players, or First Division for that matter?
We've got some local based players that will be definitely involved, like Jalen Harvey, who's at North Village, Shane at North Village, St. Hollis. We're looking at a couple young guys. The boy Keyshawn Bean from PAC, his new and youngster. LeJean Simmons from Robin Hood. So we got a good base of players, and Zico from the Evanston Cougars, who's been their captain.
Zico White.
Yeah, Zico White, and also Stephen, the goalkeeper for PAC, goalkeeper for Danny Town. All these guys have been training, and it's just a matter of we're gonna nail it down within the next day or two.
Over to some horse racing news now. Veteran Jamaican rider Andrew Ramgeet rode a handsome triple to keep tabs on leader Scott Stevens at Turf Paradise in Arizona on Wednesday. Riding on the 8 race card at the Southwestern United States racetrack, Ramgeet won race 5 with 3-1 chance, Appery, and race 7 with 4-1 bet make money honey, before wrapping up his haul in the day's final race abroad, 6-1 choice Mysterious Man. Now seeking to narrow Stevens' lead, Ramgeet opened his account over 6 furlongs when he steered 6-year-old Chestnut Mare Appery to victory by 3.5 lengths over the 4-year-old and upward fillies and mares.
They have a half-mile left to go. Camille leads away, a length from Apari. Lazy Daisy May to the outside third. Barn Party is now in fourth at the rails, 2.5 off the lead. Flyer Right is losing ground, and it's another length to Top Lady Margie and Sister Hubert and Pay Me First. Militurn, Camille, and Apprentice Eric Garcia lead it by just over a length. Apari continues to chase in second. The Barn Party is now third. Lazy Daisy May is back fourth. And then in fifth, Top Lady Margie, and now there goes Apari. Apari's making her move out after Camille. Barn Party is in third, continuing to move well at the rails. Top Lady Margie, center of the course, Lazy Daisy May. Apari is taken over. Andrew Ramsey and Apari at the 16th pole, pulling away from Camille. Then we have Barn Party and Lazy Daisy May. Apari's going to win. Apari, and then a photo between Camille and Lazy Daisy May, and Barn Party was between them. Fourth.
And that's the sport. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
We want to welcome international recording star Una right here on Positive Progression TV show.
Thank you so much.
Look at this beautiful, beautiful woman over here. You are quite welcome. Thank you for coming on the show.
No problem.
And thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. And so much to be said about your music. You started at a very young age. So talk to us a little bit about Una's background coming up in music.
Again, the major developments of this day. Opposition MPs in St. Kitts and Nevis walk out of Parliament after the Speaker refuses to allow debate on a no-confidence motion filed against him. And in sport, West Indies captain Jason Holder says building a more close-knit unit can turn the Caribbean side's fortunes around. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, log on to CaribbeanNews.com. We'll be back here again on Monday. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a good night.